Orange Blossoms, it's me, and today I'm going to do a two-part video today. First I'm going to do my foundation routine because I get asked a lot about how I do my foundation, and then also I'm going to do part 2, and that's going to be with this e.l.f. Vampire Beauty book that I did a haul recently on. I got this at Walgreens, so I am going to do a look with this from several requests. Also, through the video I will tell you what I use. All of this is drugstore except for 2 products, but you can substitute these 2 things with anything that you would like. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I do is I wash my face in the morning. I have a special wash that I use, and if you guys would like to see a skincare routine, put that in the comments down below, and if I get enough requests I will do that video as well. But I do wash my face and I put a moisturizer on, and I let that set for a good 20 minutes to really soak up the nutrients of the moisturizer, especially around my brow area, because that's where I get the driest. Because I wax my brows, I do not pluck them, and I only wax them because I get a cleaner finish, they look better, and I just think it looks more presentable that way. If I have any blemishes like I have here, I will use a which I will put in my skincare routine video. There's a special tool that I use to get rid of these blemishes when you sleep. So let's just go ahead and get started. So these are the things that I do as foundation. So my foundation is the Clean from CoverGirl, this is in Ivory, and then my powder is the Organic Wear. It just says Natural Optics. Looks like this. And then I have concealer here. It's under eye concealer from e.l.f. And then I have a tone corrector by e.l.f. And I have my eyelid primer from e.l.f. as well. So this is super affordable. I mean, it's not, you know, hundreds of dollars worth of products. And then for my blush, I use the HD in Headline. And then for that's cream blush. For my powder blush, I use Wet n Wild's Heather Silk. Then I use my golden bronzer by e.l.f. And then for my brows, I recently switched, but I have this NYC powder and wax from NYC in Brunette. Now, in the palette that I have for the e.l.f., they have a brown that you can use. The only problem is it's not matte. This is matte, so that's what I suggest. That's what I got. So, and I forgot my beauty blender, so I'm going to have to use a brush instead. So all of my brushes are sitting here next to me, so if I keep reaching, that's why. So I'm going to get my stippling brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to use this for my foundation as well. And then I'm going to take my professional foundation brush by e.l.f. Studio to do the under eyes. So let's just put some foundation on. Actually, first what I'm going to do is all of my prep and my prime and my concealer and all that stuff. So I'm going to do under eye concealer. And we do a V, and we do it that way. And I have a mirror on the side so I can see what I'm doing as well. So I'll just put that right there. And I'll grab that when I need it. And then this is the eyeshadow or eyelid primer. And I really suggest, if you wear a lot of eyeshadows like I do, you really need to really prep and prime your eye foundation, because then your stuff will stay in longer. Because I have rosacea, I'm going to use this tone on, and it smells very very citrusy, kind of, actually. And this is from their dollar line. put it there around the blemish here because I get a lot of red from my lips, and up my nose and on my forehead. And I'll also take my concealer and go on my forehead because I have a lot of dark spots on my forehead because of sun damage. And I go down the nose, and I'll also put it on my cheeks and here as well. Okay, so now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to blend everything in. I look super crazy. I want to blend all this in. I like the Beauty Blender better because it does blend better, but when you don't have one, brushes do work as well. I choose not to use my hands because of all the oil on my hands, and I don't want to cause any more problems with putting more oil on my skin than it already has, and we don't want that. Okay, and I'm not going to fast forward this, I'm not going to edit this because it doesn't take 5 minutes to do makeup, especially when you do eyeshadow and you do all of this preparation. It's a longer process. So I'm going to do full effect. Also, my laptop is being repaired right now. I have a lot of problems with my laptop. So, that's that. Okay, so now all of that is ready to go. I'm going to take my foundation now, and I'm going to dot where I want it to go. Beauty blenders are better when you have blemishes because you can get a 3D effect. You can make it a 3D coverage, which means you can go around the blemish and and correct it. But like I said, I forgot mine, so I'm going to use a brush instead. I'm going to use my stippling brush and stipple this in. This gives tremendous coverage. And you don't need to spend a lot of money if you are on a very tight budget and you can't afford high-end products. This is totally worth, and you look flawless. I get more compliments on this than anything, and you never know. A lot of people don't want to spend that much money on foundations or, you know, on face. So blend this in. Now I'm gonna set it with my powder from Organic Wear. I'm not gonna use the kabuki because it's very painful. So I'm going to use my new brush for my brush set, and I'm going to set my powder. I like Organic Wear because it doesn't break me out. Ooh, ooh, big dust cloud. That's the only bad thing about this is a big dust cloud. Really, I get the lip a lot because I sweat all the day. I know that sounds gross and it's probably TMI, but girls, let's be realistic. Everybody sweats, so you just have to know your skin and your face and prep and prime accordingly. Okay, so now that I did all of that, is blush and bronzer. Now, I don't like a harsh bronzer line. I try to keep my skin as natural looking as I can. So I'm going to do my bronzer next, and I'm going to take my angled brush for the bronzer. For the blush, I'm going to take, or for the contouring, for the cheekbones, I'm going to use my fan brush. This will be for the temples and right here. And then for my blush, I'm going to use my stipple brush. So I like to start with my contour first. And I'm going to use my e.l.f. contour. I'm going to be using this color and this color mixed. So I'm going to mix, and right here where your temple naturally is, and right there where you want to contour naturally where you shadow, and you want to highlight naturally where you highlight, where the sun or light actually, where it hits you naturally. So over here, now it looks like I'm not contouring at all, but I am. And the reason why I like that is because when I take pictures, I don't have heavy lines on my face, because my skin color, I have to be careful. So now I'm going to mix all four together and just okay, now I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm going to do a sweep of all four colors. And suck in those cheeks. Now, if you think this is not light, if it's too light, I'm going to take an eyeshadow and I'm going to dip my brush in it, blow off the excess, and suck it. And blend it like that. Now see that it looks harsh, but you can always blend. So now I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush, which will be this one, and I'm just going to really blend that in. Okay, so my last step is my blush. I've set my powder, I've contoured, even though it doesn't look like it on camera. I'm going to take my HD blush, and I'm going to use my fingers, apply it, and then stipple it. So I smile really big. I have big cheeks, by the way. So I'm going to put some color back into my face. And this is natural. Autumn is all about being natural. So I'm going to stipple the blush. The apples of my cheeks, which are right here. My cheekbone is right here. And to set that, because it's a cream base, I'm going to take my Heather Silk and lightly feather and stipple blush. Now if you want to, and that's too, you just go like this. Now for a highlighter for my brows, this is my last step. Depending on the eyeshadow that I use, depends on the highlighter, and I'm going to use my Sugar Eyeshadow Single from Wet n Wild. if I can open it, and it looks like this. Very pretty. And I'm going to take a brush like this, and I'm going to highlight here, here, and along down the nose. My nose is not straight, it is crooked, so. And then a little here. So that is it for my foundation routine that I do every time I wear foundation. Now I'm going to do my brows and the rest of my makeup in part 2. So stay tuned. I'm going to film this right after this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time, Orange Blossoms. Bye.